Right, will you join us as we're wandering out on the causeway, making our way out to Grain Seafort, or Sea Tower, which is directly in front of us. This is an old Victorian gun fort, so we thought we'd have a stove out here today, go for a bit of explore. This has been on our doorstep for years, but we've never actually made it here. But at the moment we're on this like causeway, which is supposed to go all out there, but it is a bit boggy. We're going to be some way offshore. We've got to make sure the tide's right, otherwise we get cut off. But we'll see you when we get a bit closer. We've now made it, and there's still a complete section of the old pathway here from about 1850, when they built it. It still actually survives, and we're now walking along it now to get to the fort. That's really cool. If you fancy coming and visiting this yourself, obviously you've got to work out the tide so you don't get cut off, but I'll put a little link at the end, and I'll do a little thing with Google Maps, and I'll show you where actually in Kent this is and how you can actually get here, and also where you can park the car as well. So here's what we've come to see. It's got the original Martello Tower part here, and then later on for World War One and World War Two, the other bits were added on. You can see how far offshore we've come now, hence why you have to be careful with the tides. But yeah, definitely bring some wellies. Now the tide's going out at the moment, it's about 6:45, and it's low tide at 8 o'clock, so we should be alright for a bit. Let's have a look to see what we can see. So the ladder's still here, so we can actually get in. Look at this. Right, so we've got to get up this ladder here, and then we're in, so give us 5 and we'll be back. We're just above the ladder. Can you see the rather large, precariously placed water tank? So let's just hope that doesn't go anywhere. Right, let's get in. Not sure how much of this you're going to see, because it's like really dark, but this is the old ammunition rack, which is still here. So you loaded the shells in here. They sat in these like hoops, and then I hoisted it all the way up to the ceiling up there as well. Alright, dead end. Head back. Still got like old metal shutters here, look. Oh, yeah. Right, where should we head? That way? This is true exploring there. Oh, we'll come out into the light again then. Oh my god. Well, see, it looks like the tide comes in down there. You wouldn't want to fall down there if it was dark, would you? See if we can get up here. Not easily. Oh. Cool, God, mind your head. Oh, this is a good place to have a stove out, Neil. I said this is a good place to have the stove out. Yeah. Can we get out the wind here? Mind you, if you put the stove down behind the wall there. Right, we're just going to have some breakfast first. This is a pan of where we are. So you can see why it commanded such a good position with guns and that on of the sea. And just mind that hole there. Jesus Christ, how far down do we go? And the line you can see running along there, going off over there, is a piece of chain that was originally wrapped round the base of this tower, and then they used to hoist it up over at the gun fort at Garrison Point, the fort just over there. And then it used to mean that ships couldn't come up the channel here because the chain was in the water and it stopped them. Anyway, let's get some food on the go. Right, we'll head up here. I don't know where this goes. Now we're getting up there. Oh, hang on. This probably looks the safer one because that's got metal rods in it holding the stairs up. But that's all gone. Those stairs look alright underneath, don't they?
I don't think I want to go out there. You can go up if you want.
No, it just goes around. This is quite non-windy.
Yeah, you can do it here. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really the other side of the wind, isn't it?
Right, we've moved anyway. We're going to have a... Whether we're in the loo here or not, I don't know, but there's a water tank up there. Well, here's to another successful stove out.
Yep, cheers.
Right, what are we having today?
Today we have got Wayfarers all-day breakfast. So it's going to be beans, sausages, egg, bacon.
Oh, and an omelette. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
yeah,
it
all
should be
right.
quite
That sounds
nice,
good.
actually. It's a boil in the bag, so we've got to boil the water and
Okay.
chuck it in the pan.
Well, here's where we are, and that's how far offshore we are. We'll have a bit more of an explore in a minute, but let's get some breakfast down because it is rather cold.
Yeah.
But we're actually out the wind here, which is good. You'd never know we was cold and wanted some warm food, would you? That's what you call a rocket stove. It's on max. Look at it going. Can you hear it? Hang on. Even the lid's rubbling around. Well, there you are. Bacon, beans, sausages, it's all in there. So I'm going to get that down me and we'll be back later. Just doing the other one now. Here's where we came in, and here is the causeway of death. So here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Done like a true urban explorer. I'm assuming this was like the shower stroke loo. It's tiled. This is like the World War II add-on bit. Looks like people have been camping in here. Someone's left their sock. There's a massive water tower that someone's thrown off the roof. It's hanging precariously down. And there's a good view of the curve of the original Martello Tower. And that's the original bit, and then we're now in the add-on. There's another tower here. If you look at the bow of those steps, and then that's the drop down. There's no way I am going on those steps at all. That is well dodgy. There's the big chain that I said about being turned round. You can see how far out the water is. So yeah, looking good. Still loads of little fixtures and things on the tower. And there's the original slits where they would have put the muskets and things out, I suppose. But our quandary is, I want to try and get up the top of there if we can, and have a look from there. That looked well dodgy. There could be a dead body under there, but I'm not looking. So this was the original World War II gun emplacement, and you got the magazine racks here where they would have kept the ammunition. This is where that hoist that we tried to show you in the dark came up, where they would have put the shells in. You can see how wide they are. That's the size of my hand, so they're massive shells. And then you go up onto here. Here's the gun tracks where the gun would have swung round, and that's the view that it would have had. That is incredible. I had to just pause the video here because I've actually got this wrong. So those two tracks that you can see in this picture on the raised level, that's actually where a wooden beam which had a cannon on the top of it was used as like the revolving mechanism. And in the centre of the circle where it's got the World War II gun mount, actually again there was little tracks that was moving round. Now this photo here with the cannon shows the system in operation that would have been on the top of this tower in the late 1800s. And you can see the two sets of tracks and how they were used to revolve the cannon round to point it out to sea. Here's another picture of a section through the Martello Tower, and you can clearly see the gun platform at the top and how they had their sort of range of fire out to sea. So it was quite a good little mechanism. And this photo just shows a few soldiers round it with their sort of buckets of, I assume it's gunpowder or whatever, and you know, that's how many people would be up there, because the cannon would have been heavy, and although it was on wheels, they still had to move it around to get a different angle of fire. Incredible. And the gun mount is there. Whoa, that's really cool. Neil, come and have a look at the size of the gun mount in the middle. It's enormous. I seriously don't think anyone's going to be coming up that way anymore. This must have been where they had a searchlight. You see the ring here, so the guns were there, and then the searchlight would have come out there. Looks like the some sort of causeway still keeps going out that way. Yeah, there's a concrete path there, so where the causeway went to. But yeah, what an amazing place. Right, we're still going to try and get up to the top of there. Right, we've got to the top. Here's the view from the observation post. See, it still had the metal shutters and everything in there. There's the view back down the causeway where we went. Heading back. And the tide's still out, so we're still okay. I must be mental doing this. Ugh. Whoa. Where are you, Neil? Just like a slitted thing, and then you can like see out over the sea. Right, we're heading back down now. This is back into the Martello Tower bit, and the staircase. There's one of the original slit windows. I assume, what would they have, muskets? Or no, muskets?
If it was 1800s, it'd be muskets. Yeah.
It'd be muskets, yeah? Okay. Old bars on the window, stop you getting out. Would you shot out there? Cannons? No, I don't know. Too high, isn't it? Yeah. Bit weird. And you've got these ones here, I suppose this is for shooting through as well, I don't know. But it's hard to see where you're going. That's the hoist, that's where we came in. Did we go this way?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah, it's just a couple of dead ends, and we went up there originally for the food out, so that's it, I think. I'll try and venture back down again. Don't go anywhere, is it? Ugh. Right, now we find ourselves back at the ladder. Couple of little rooms. Place for mooring your boat up when you come. That's us done. So that was our quick look round Grained Seafort. So hope you enjoyed the video. We're going to start making our way back now. We've beaten the tide. The tide is still out. So if you do come out here, make sure that you come before low tide and give yourself time to have a good look round the tower and not get yourself cut off, because if you do, it's a long run back to there. And as we say, wellies are a must, and stay on the causeway, don't wander into the mud. So we're on the original causeway now to heading back, and as you can see there's sections where it just disappears, and that's why you need your wellies to get through it and then back up on it again. But this is obviously from 1850 when they were building the thing, so surprising a lot of it's left. There's ladders everywhere. Look, there's another double ladder there. That must have been the original one to get in. Someone's chucked out. Oh well, you're not short of a ladder or two. So the Isle of Grain, if you look it up on a map, you should be able to find it quite easily. So you go through the centre of Grain on to Chapel Road, follow that along, and then you come to Smithfield Road, turn down there, go as far as you can, and then there's a dead end, and park on the little bit of green that I've indicated.